As the winter session of the Parliament is still underway, we are getting you our top focus on a story coming from the Parliament itself, where amid repeated allegation by the opposition parties of the government avoiding discussion on the situation along the China border, Union Minister Piyush Goyal has hit back by citing a previous instance of the UPA government admitting that the Chinese occupation but not discussing it. The minister said in 2012, former Minister E Ahamed made a statement on China having illegally occupied 38,000 square kilometers in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. But remember, opposition parties led by leader of the opposition, Rajya Kharge, earlier walked out on the issue of Chinese incursion. In his speech, Kharge said there is nothing else to discuss if there is no discussion on China's encroachment of the Indian land.
चाइना ये बहुत बड़ा महत्व का विषय है और आज
प्लीज
नो आज वो वहाँ पर अतिक्रमण कर रहे हैं लोगों को हमारी जगह वो अतिक्रमण करके वहाँ पर पुल बनाए जा रहे हैं, घर बनाए जा रहे हैं, तोपखाने, कारखाने सब बना रहे हैं। तो इसीलिए ये महत्व का मुद्दा है। अगर ये चर्चा नहीं करेंगे, इसको अगर रूल सभा निकाल सस्पेंड करके चर्चा को अगर अवकाश देंगे, फिर किसको देंगे?
प्लीज
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये बार-बार विषय उठाते हैं कि हमें चर्चा करनी है। मैं इतने सारे उदाहरण दे सकता हूं जब गंभीर विषयों पे इनके समय चर्चा नहीं हुई, जो डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन साहब ने खुद सदन पे कहा। लेकिन माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये भी सच्चाई है कि आज से कई वर्ष पहले 2012 में इन्हीं की पार्टी के जो मंत्री थे ई अहमद, उन्होंने सदन में कहा,
मेक योर पॉइंट,
China continues to be in illegal occupation of 38,000 square kilometers in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. 2012 का इन्हीं के मंत्री का ये वक्तव्य हाउस में एक सवाल के जवाब में
ऑनरेबल
मैंने बिना बात की बेबुनियाद विषय उठाते, बेबुनियाद ये सदन की गरिमा को गिराते, और मैं समझता हूं कि LoP मिसयूज कर रहे हैं कि उनके पद के वजह से वो उठ सकते हैं।
My colleague Madhav is joining us live to get us more updates on the story. Madhav, you know, the opposition and the government has been at a loggerhead over the issue pertaining to the Chinese aggression on the Indian border. But earlier, when the defense minister had made a statement, the former Home Minister, Minister Piyush had mentioned that the UPA government had agreed to a discussion on matters like cash for vote and the Anna Hazare movement, even though it wasn't listed as the business for discussion. This time around, when the opposition is demanding for a discussion on Indo-China aggression at the border, then why is the government of the day shying away from it, since only a few more days are remaining for the winter session to get over?
Well, the government's stand is very clear, and this is what Piyush Goyal has said on the floor of the House, and this is what he said even outside the House in the Parliament premises. He has said that in 2012, there is a statement of E Ahamed that explained that it is the government of China that is in possession of about 38,000 square kilometers of Indian land illegally occupied by them. There was no discussion inside the House at that point of time, and on several other occasions when it comes to China. So the government is citing that precedent to argue its point that the matters related to China have been explained by the defense minister. They are also saying that the statement of the military, of the army, is out there. It's there in the public domain. And given all of these public statements, leaders should refrain from making comments. They've also launched an attack. Piyush Goyal, in fact, launching an attack on Rahul Gandhi for what he calls irresponsible statements, because he says that the statement of Rahul Gandhi that the Chinese are beating up our soldiers is extremely irresponsible and is something that would be demoralizing to our armed forces. This is a statement coming in from the government. This is Piyush Goyal on record making all of these points. Inside the House, also a heated exchange when the opposition for the past several days has been rising to raise these issues in relation to China and seeking explanation from the government. Very interestingly, a short while earlier, Mr. P. Chidambaram, during the discussion during the appropriation budget discussion, raised the issue that for defense, over 500 crores were sought for the border with China, and therefore asked where the Prime Minister and the Chinese Premier met in Bali recently under the aegis of G20 handover. Really, did they discuss China and the border issues that India has? Don't give us the specifics, but tell us whether the issue of China was discussed. To which, of course, the chair then had to intervene, saying that you can place whatever document you have on the table of the House, and then we can discuss the same. Chidambaram then responded, saying that it's all there in the public domain. The Prime Minister was there, Xi Jinping was there. It's all very well known, and therefore sought an answer from the government as to whether there was a discussion on this issue. No response yet coming in from the government on that particular point, but clearly an important point being sought to be made there by the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram on the floor of the Rajya Sabha in the second half of the day.
Well, both sides are not willing to relent, and it appears that the logjam is going to continue. Thank you, Madhav, for getting us all those details.